Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I actually love it. You know, part of you hate it because you got to report early as a quarterback, especially a veteran one. But I think it's a no-brainer. You know, for us, you get this chunk of time off, and as hard as guys have been working and working out, and then for us throwing, and you just can't simulate the 11 on 11 and 7 on 7 and the time. I mean, and so I think it's just so nice for us to come in. We come in with the rooks, a few other selected guys, and really kind of a couple days to kind of get us ramped up so that, yeah, when the vets do come in here, you know, we're getting the most out of every single practice. I also think just from an arm health deal too, same thing. It's tough to simulate. You can go throw as much as you want, but it's different when you're in a practice and stuff like that. So I think that the few days of ramping up are healthy as well. So all the way around, I mean, I think it's a really good thing.
How much throwing have you done?
Yeah, I mean, you throw every day. Yeah, I mean, you're doing something. I'm doing something, you know, and it fluctuates. You know, you try to make it work. You know, we got families, and for a lot of us, you're traveling a little bit, so you try to make it work. But yeah, you're going every day. You put in so much work at that point through the off season and stuff that you're going every single day. So yeah, but like I said, it's just tough to simulate at times what it's like to you know, what practices are like and what throws are like, especially when we're coming up and putting pads on.
Well, how critical are the next 3 weeks in terms of trying to get on the same page with the receivers? You're bringing in so many new receivers, guys that not only are new, but you really want something out of it.
Yeah, every day is critical. I mean, every single day. I mean, it's I think once the vets get here, what is it, 2 weeks until we have our first preseason game, and then, I mean, things are going to change from there, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, we'll be playing the opener. So every single day is critical. You're trying to get better every single day, take advantage of the reps you have. They are finite. You know, you're trying to make the most of them. So,
what's your message to the young guys?
I mean, I think it's exactly that. I mean, you're just coming in and you're just trying to make the most of every rep. You know, come in and the chances you get, go out and, you know, be prepared and you know, like I said, try to make the most of it. You know, you can't really dwell on anything else, but for that, I mean, every single day, don't be looking too far down the road. Don't be dreading camp and how long it is and how long we're going to be here, and don't be thinking about preseason games even at this point. I mean, for us, it's you know, you basically get one practice a day now with the rules, and you get a walkthrough with it, but really go out there and take advantage of those reps.
When you say you love it, what's the it part? What?
What's that?
When you say you love it, what's the it part?
Well, I mean, I think it's just it's coming up and practicing. Yeah, I mean, it's here, it's camp. This experience is rare, I think, in the working world. You know, that it's like it's boys camps. You know, we're going away for what, 3-4 weeks. We're all staying here. We're working together. We depend on each other. You're around each other 24/7. I mean, where else do you get to kind of experience something like this? It's special. It's obviously with the heat, it can be tough at times. But yeah, I mean, it's everything around. I mean, from the meetings to the practice to all the time in between. I mean, whether you're hanging out in the cold tubs or in the training room. I mean, in the locker room, all that stuff and everything in between. Is really special time, and I think that's where, you know, teams kind of become teams.
So you sort of like this, being away from home, whatever, and being in an atmosphere like this?
I do, very much so.
Like a lot of teams have taken it back.
Yeah, I saw something. A lot more stay at home now than go away. I think's right, but I certainly am an advocate of it. I really enjoy it. I've done both. I really like this though. Like for all those reasons, I think that, you know, team coming together, spending time with each other. It's just invaluable.
I understand the football mentality of it, like, okay, you worry about today,
play,
this practice, all that. But at the same time, when the schedule comes out and you see that you got 3 home games in the first 3 months, I mean, do you at least take note of that? And
go, yeah, of course. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, I know. Absolutely. Yeah, you see it. You know, I've been thinking about it, for the last, you know, however long, you know, when the season came out, when the schedule came out. So you do know it. But like I said, it's easier to think about it when I'm on my own and you got time. I mean, when you get into this, that's the nice thing about camp. You just don't, I mean, you're going, you know, and hey, we're in short yardage period, and this, you know, you're trying to convert short yardages, and hey, we're in 7-on-7, and you're trying to convert there, you know, and all those things in the middle of practice. Then hey, we're in walkthrough. You know, it's everything. That's the kind of nice thing about camp is it's kind of all right in front of you.
I'm curious, like, will the NFL coach like address the schedule with you guys before the season or when it comes out? And
it's tough for me to. I mean, I guess I don't know what other coaches are doing.
I mean,
I know what we're doing here. Yeah, I mean, certainly for us, the opener. Yeah, the opener's got a ton of focus, and then the division. Yeah, absolutely. So I would say those are for sure the area of focus for us. We know who we're playing first and how important it is to get off to a good start, and then obviously the teams you're playing twice in those division games, and obviously those are unique. So certainly those are the area of focus for us right now.
The one thing that kind of sticks out to me about that is like you never know like how good teams are going to be. So,
Yeah,
yeah. But I do know this. Playing on the road is maybe a little harder, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And one thing you don't want to do in this league is lose a bunch of games in a row because with that things go poorly. So it's important to get off to a good start in general.
Absolutely.
And how hard is it to kind of dig out of an early hole in this league is the question.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like every single week such a battle. Like you said, I mean, you can go off last year's records, but I mean, in the end, they don't really matter, and I think the NFL's kind of proven that year in and year out with the parity. So you do know that, and obviously you kind of expect a battle every single week. So yeah, when you do get into a hole, it's tough. It's really tough to dig your way back out, which is why it's so important to try to get off to a good start. And for us, it's the opener. Try to get that first one.
Alex, compared to past seasons, can you rank your optimism coming into this season?
It'd be hard for me to compare. They're all, I mean, it's hard to even remember them, let alone, so no, there's so much that goes into that. Like I said, I'm pumped that football's back around, that we're reporting that this day's come, and we'll be practicing here soon enough, and we'll get the rest of the guys up here in a few days. Just happy for to be kind of season time again. The off season's been cut down so short that we don't really get as much as we used to. So excited to be able to put the pads on here and get back to football.
Alex, you talked about throwing in the last month every day.
Yeah.
When you come and get on the field tomorrow, are you on a throwing program through camp, a pitch count, so to speak? I know they keep track.
Yeah, no, they keep track of it. It's certainly not like a daily pitch. I mean, they certainly do keep track of it daily, but it's certainly not like I get towards the end of practice and they're saying, hey, shut it down. No, it's more like, yeah, that night, obviously, we're looking at, hey, you threw this many balls today. Or, it was high, it was low. And I think you're kind of helping it as you move along, maybe for the next day or down the couple days down the line. And it's really kind of general, working around the edges. There are no really hard lines or anything like that.
With at least where you stand now, there's only 3 quarterbacks who figure to practice. Does that increase the workload 1/3?
I guess I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going on medically with Tyler, but yeah, as of OTAs, it was the same, and we should have about the same numbers. So I expect it to be very similar to OTAs if that's the case.
Alex, you talk about throwing pretty much every day since the end of OTAs. Who have you been throwing to? None of these guys, right? I mean,
yeah, anyone you can. High school kids, friends, anyone in between. Yeah, sometimes you're just playing catch. There's a lot of things you can do to simulate throwing. Like I said, it is tough to get a bunch of guys together. Certainly NFL receivers and be able to simulate what that is. You do get it here and there. But yeah, you throw in anyone you can.
What can you do to simulate?
It's just that, like I said, you just get, you get better at it as you get older. And I think the older you get, you don't necessarily need that actually. I mean, for me, it's just throwing. I think I've gotten a lot better just going out and visualizing. I could go out and just spot somebody up, and I think I can get a lot out of it a lot of times. Certainly you're doing it with other quarterbacks most of the time, so that's the case.
If you don't do that, do you feel like you've missed something when you get back to it? I mean, do you feel rusty or whatever you want?
No, I mean, I don't think so. Like I said, I've been doing it long enough now that no, I don't feel like that's the case. Certainly maybe when I was younger, you felt like that, but at year 11, I mean, I don't know how many reps I've had over my life, with throwing slants and things like that, and certainly that's kind of why I guess I said I like these few days, because after that I feel like, a couple practices, you're ready to roll. So.
Did you get a sense of what you have out of your new receivers from the OTAs and the offseason? What kind of what
I think you do get a good sense of it. I think if there's any kind of position groups that gets the most out of not having pads on, it's certainly the skilled positions, and receivers a big part of that. So you do get a good sense of the passing game. There will be a little change here, obviously, when we put the pads on, and DBs can really get physical, and you can work releases and things like that, and that's kind of the next step of it. But certainly I felt like we had a great off season. And it's just a matter of, like I said, you get this time off, and hopefully you take off where we left off.
Do you see young guys change sometimes from the time you see them in OTAs?
Yeah, no question, especially the rooks. That was their first exposure. They've been through such a whirlwind of workouts and combine and draft, and then they come in and it's, they don't have time to catch their breath and really digest anything, and hopefully over this time off they did get that. and then come back in kind of rejuvenated and let some of that stuff sink in as far as the offense, and really kind of come out ahead of it.
Last one in the back.
Alex, you've been in St. Joe a couple of years now. You said you like to get away for training camp. Do you see Missouri Western making it a point to make the field a little more like Kansas City, the training facility, kind of more what you're used to there?
Yeah, I mean, I think the facilities here are great. Part of the reason I love coming here. Obviously, if they were bad, it wouldn't be that much fun. But I think the fields are great. The facilities are great. The indoors awesome. Weight room's great. Dorms aren't too bad. And food's good. Obviously, that's a big part of this. So, yeah, I mean, I got no complaints. I think it's great all the way around. Yeah.
Easier to deal with the heat like this when you have nicer facilities, I guess.
Yeah, and coach usually sets up a decent schedule with us. I like coming out and practicing in the morning. We're not practicing in the middle of the day. It's fun to wake up and practice. So.
Last one, Joe.
Alex, you got with Albert Wilson hurt for a little bit this summer. You got to see a little more out of Chris Conley.
Yeah.
You think he's someone who can actually contribute early on?
Absolutely.
Making that transition.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everything we all saw from OTAs in the offseason would only encourage that idea. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys.